All right, let's dive into one of the most incredible pieces of technology you'll ever own, your own eye. We're going to break down exactly how this amazing biological machine captures light and turns it into the rich, detailed world you see around you every single day. I mean, really think about it. How does simple light become a friend's face or a beautiful sunset, or even just the words you're reading right now? It feels like magic, right? Well, it's not magic, but it is an absolutely fascinating biological process, and we're going to walk through every step.
So here's the best way to think about it, and we'll use this idea for our whole journey. Your eye is basically a living, self-repairing camera. It's got a protective case, an auto-adjusting aperture, a precision lens, and a sensor that sends all its data to the most powerful image processor on the planet, your brain.
Okay, first things first. Before any light can even get into our camera, we've got to talk about all the external gear that keeps it safe, clean, and ready to go. This is the eye's essential support crew. And every single part here has a super specific job. Your eyebrows, they're like a built-in sweatband. Your eyelids act like automatic lens caps, and they also squeegee the eye with tears every single time you blink. Your eyelashes are perfect little dust filters, and the tear factory, the lacrimal apparatus, is constantly washing, lubricating, and even disinfecting the surface of your eye. Pretty cool, huh? Right, with the outside all protected, let's follow a single ray of light as it starts its incredible journey into the eyeball itself, the main body of our camera. The eyeball is actually built in 3 distinct layers. Think of it like a tiny high-tech onion. You've got the tough outer fibrous layer for protection, just like a camera's body. The middle vascular layer brings in all the blood and nutrients. And that inner nervous layer? Well, that's the sensor, and that's where the magic of vision really begins. So as light zips toward your eye, the very first thing it hits is the cornea. This is the transparent window at the front. But it's way more than just a window. The cornea does most of the heavy lifting when it comes to focusing, bending, or refracting that incoming light right away. After passing through the cornea, that light is headed for an opening called the pupil. You know that little black dot right in the middle of your eye? That's it. And the colorful part, the iris, is basically a muscular ring that acts just like a camera's aperture, controlling the size of the pupil to manage exactly how much light gets inside. And here's how it works. When you walk out into bright sunshine, a set of circular muscles in your iris contracts, making the pupil tiny to protect your eye from too much light. But when you walk into a dark room, a totally different set of radial muscles kicks in, pulling the pupil wide open, dilating it, to let in as much light as possible. And the best part? It's all completely automatic. Okay, so once the light makes it through the pupil, it hits the lens. Now, if the cornea did the rough initial focusing, the lens is all about precision. It's this transparent, flexible little structure that fine-tunes the focus, making sure the image lands perfectly on the back of the eye. So how does it do that fine-tuning? Through an amazing process called accommodation. It's literally your eye's built-in autofocus. A tiny muscle changes the shape of the lens. When you want to look at something up close, that muscle contracts, making the lens fatter. And to see something far away, the muscle relaxes and the lens thins right out. The light has been gathered, it's been focused, and now it's time for the main event, capturing the image. The light has finally reached its destination at the very back of the eye, a layer that works just like a high-tech digital camera sensor. And that sensor is called the retina. It's the innermost layer of the eye, and it is packed with over 100 million specialized, light-sensitive cells. Its one and only job is to perform a little miracle of biology, converting pure light energy into the electrical signals our brain can actually understand. These light-detecting cells come in 2 main flavors, rods and cones. You can think of them as 2 specialist teams. The rods are incredibly sensitive. They're our night vision specialists. They detect motion and see in black and white. The cones, on the other hand, they need a lot more light to work, but they are the ones that give us our sharp, detailed, full-color vision during the day. Now here's a really cool quirk in our own design. All the nerve fibers from those millions of rods and cones have to leave the eye somewhere to get to the brain, right? Well, that exit point is called the optic disc, and because it's basically just a bundle of wiring, there are no rods or cones there. This creates a natural blind spot in each of your eyes that, get this, your brain just cleverly fills in so you never even notice it. So we've captured the light and we've turned it into an electrical signal. But that's not sight. Not yet. The final, critical stage is sending that raw data to the processing unit, the brain, so it can develop the final photograph.
This whole pathway is direct and unbelievably fast. The light stimulates the rods and cones, which creates an electrical impulse. That impulse shoots down the optic nerve. Think of it as a high-speed data cable, connecting your eye directly to your brain. And in a tiny fraction of a second, that signal arrives at the visual cortex, ready to be interpreted.
And here's one last mind-blowing fact for you. Because of the way a curved lens works, the image that's actually projected onto your retina is completely upside down and backward. The only reason you don't see the world that way is because your brain just flips it right side up for you automatically. It's been doing it since the moment you were born without you ever knowing. So there you have it, the whole incredible chain of events. A simple ray of light enters the cornea, gets focused by the lens onto the retina, which turns it into a signal that zips down the optic nerve to the brain, and just like that, you have vision. It's an amazing blend of physics and biology happening every single moment you have your eyes open.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. If your brain is constantly working behind the scenes, flipping images and filling in blind spots without you even asking, what else is it changing, or even creating, about the world that you perceive? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.